You look like you're carrying your cats with you, which I love my cats, but I don't want them to go with me to go out to have dinner. You know what I mean? Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Oralia. I'm very happy that you've dropped by today because today we are talking about how to stay looking polished and pulled together. Super easy, super cheap. When it comes to the investments that we make in our clothing, no matter how much money I spend on my clothes, I always try my best to take really, really good care of them. Whether I've spent $5 on something or I've spent $500 on something, I always try to make sure that I am taking very good care of those garments. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today, how to care for your clothes, because when your clothes are well taken care of, you automatically have a leg up on looking polished and pulled together. That's one less thing that you have to do and worry about to looking your best. We're going to tackle the washing cycle first. Generally, I don't wash my clothes that often. I know it might sound really gross, but I really don't wash my clothes that often. There is no need to wash your clothing every single time you've worn it. You could absolutely wear your clothes 2, 3, maybe even 4 times before you have to put it into the laundry. As long as you give it a chance to air out, you shouldn't have to wash your clothes as soon as you wear it, unless of course you've gotten really grubby or something like that. Totally understand that you've got to wash it if you've got like dirt on you or whatever. But in your day-to-day life, you probably don't roll around in the dirt, or maybe you do, I don't know. If you're worried about it feeling gross or stale or whatever, then use a hand steamer to steam your clothes, because steam is actually quite sanitizing. It's very gentle on the clothes. Or if you happen to have a washer or a dryer that have got a steam cycle, leverage that function in your appliances, because that is such a cool feature. And I know that a lot of older washer and dryers don't have that, but if you've got something that's a little bit newer, or if you're thinking about getting a new washer and dryer, make sure that you look into those that have got those features, because that's going to actually make your life a lot easier. It's going to help you to keep your clothes looking fresh and smelling fresh for a lot longer. It will really pay for itself in the long run. If you don't have appliances that have those features, then by all means, a hand steamer, a little travel steamer will do the same thing, honestly. You just have to take a little bit of time yourself to do the steaming, but it will serve the same purpose. And that way you don't have to put your clothes through a rigorous wash and dry cycle, because the washer and the dryer both can be very detrimental to your clothes. Fibers wash away in the wash, and you've got lint that comes off in the dryer, and the heat is not good for your clothing either. It's not good for those fibers necessarily. If you do have to wash your clothes though, make sure that you're washing your clothes inside out. That way there's less friction on the outside. It's a little bit more protected. That's another little thing that you can do to help preserve your clothing and help them to last a little bit longer. The other thing is that I don't dry a lot of my clothes. I do dry my t-shirts, my pajamas, my towels, things like that. That goes into the dryer. But jeans, pants, tops, sweaters, sweater dresses, all of those things do not get dried in the dryer. They actually get hung to dry. My sweaters and such I don't hang. I have got, racks, those sweater racks, and I lay them out that way to dry. Yes, there's a little bit of hanging that happens with the dress or with the sweater, but it's better than having it hanging from its shoulders. And I'll go into that here in a little bit. I know it's a bit of a hassle. Because even me, I've got things hanging everywhere and laying out and all of the things, but honestly, I don't have to spend more to replace things. I am being a lot more sustainable by doing that. I'm not using the energy from the dryer. I'm using the air to dry things out. Also, it helps the clothes to last longer, which is also sustainable. So take that into account, that you don't have to throw everything into the dryer. You actually should probably be throwing less of your clothing into the dryer, allowing them to air dry, because it's just going to be better. Now, when it comes to stains, treat your stain right away. I have got Tide stain sticks everywhere. I've got some in here. I've got some in several of my handbags. I've got one in my walk-in closet in my primary bedroom. I have got them everywhere. So those are really, really good little lifesavers. They work pretty well on most stains. They will also help the stain to kind of disappear, so you don't maybe have to wash it. You'll just treat it with the Tide stain stick and then you're good to go. Now, the other trick when it comes to stains though is actually something that I got from one of you. You recommended to use Dawn dishwashing liquid on like a grease stain, especially orange grease stains. If you got orange grease on you, forget about it. You are not going to get it out. Dawn dishwashing liquid actually gets it out. I know this because my new striped sweater that I got from H&M a couple of hauls ago, I dropped a buffalo wing on it and it bounced on every single beige stripe, and I used Dawn dishwashing liquid and no stains. No stains. Buffalo sauce is an orange grease. No stains whatsoever. So Dawn dishwashing liquid is really, really good for stubborn stains, for stubborn grease stains. And oh my goodness, do not dry anything that has got a stain on it. When you do finally wash it, check to make sure that the stain has gotten out. If the stain is still there, do not put it in the dryer. Don't do that. Make sure that when you do have something stained, even if you've used Dawn dishwashing liquid on it, check it to make sure that the stain is gone in the wash. If it's not gone, air dry it and try again, because otherwise the dryer will bake it in and you're just not going to be able to get it out. So, little bonus tip for you right there. And I feel very passionately about this because I've done it a few times. So now about just general upkeep of your clothes. There is a tool called a debobbler or a depiller, depending on where you're from. I call it a depiller. Outside of a steamer, this is probably the next most important tool in my arsenal. A depiller will save your sweaters and your knits when they get the little pills on them. Now, I know that some people will get a really nice expensive sweater and then commiserate about the fact that they have got pills and oh my God, this is a $150 sweater. Why is it pilling? Well, you got to check the fabric content. If it's wool or cashmere or any blend of such, it's going to pill. It's just the nature of the fibers for that to happen. So it doesn't mean that it's cheap or badly made. It just means that the knit is doing what it's supposed to be doing. You grab your depiller, you shave all of that off, and your sweater, your shirt, whatever the case is, it's gonna look so much better. It's gonna look new again. I have one that I got from Amazon that I love dearly. However, I stupidly threw away the cord. I don't know when, where, how it happened. I just know that I was thinking, oh, I should probably recharge this here pretty soon. And I was looking for the damn cord and I couldn't find it anywhere. I still can't find it. I threw it out. I must have gotten it confused for a phone cord. That's what I'm guessing. And I chucked it when I was, doing some house cleaning. My depiller has some charge and it's, I can use it, but I know that it is terminally ill and I'm not going to be able to use it for much longer. So RIP little debobbler. And I thought, oh, well, I'll just get another one, same kind. Well, Amazon doesn't make it anymore. It's not in production anymore. So I'm going to be SOL on a depiller here pretty soon. However, I have been eyeing some up on Amazon, and that is where I think half of the planet gets their debobblers or depillers from is Amazon. So I will have some of the ones that I am eyeing up linked in the description bar below because they are a must-have. Same thing for travel steamers. I will have some linked. Right now, by the way, I'm not having a very good relationship with my current steamer. I made the mistake of my aunt gave me this steamer and I threw out the other one that I had because I thought this little guy was better, and he's not. He's actually a lot worse. So I am also in the market for a new steamer, but I'm making do with this guy even though he spits on my clothes and sometimes puts little stains in them. But we've got a rough relationship at the moment. Not good. Anyway, I digress. Get yourself some velvet hangers. For God's sake, get velvet hangers. Get velvet hangers. They are the best hangers that you could ever get for your closet. I know I'm very passionate about keeping my clothes clean and my hangers and whatnot, but yes, get yourself some good velvet hangers. They're everywhere on Amazon. I will have some of my favorites linked down below. I did make the mistake of not linking hangers when I talked about my Amazon finds the last time, and I'm sorry about that oversight on my behalf, but it will not happen again. I will have my favorite velvet hangers listed. I also like the velvet hangers that have the little clippies for pants, because I do not like hanging my pants over the bar of a closet because they crease at the knees, and I just can't be bothered with trying to get rid of that crease. So I will use the little hangers with the clippies. I like hanging my skirts and my pants lengthwise, and so there's that. There are 1,001 ways to hang your pants. That's just my preferred method. There's like S hooks to hang your pants from the back, belt hoops, but I'm just worried that, that's going to put a lot of stress on that little piece of fabric. And so again, the little clippies are the best thing for me. That's just me. If you like hanging your pants over the rod, by all means do it. Velvet hangers have a lot of benefits. The biggest benefit that a velvet hanger has is that it grips onto the fabric. Even your slinkiest, slippery fabrics tend to hang on to the velvet, and I love that. I don't have time to be messing with a hanger and things getting all done. I'm the type of person that when I go to the store and all the clothes are the hangers are all jumbled together and hooked together, and I'm sitting there, I'm straightening them all out. People have mistaken me for an employee because I'm busy cleaning up the rack at Target. And I'm just all like, no, I don't work here. I just can't. I just cannot with all of this. So I hate it when hangers, when things slip off of hangers and you've got like a hanger, all crooked with something on it. I just can't do that. I cannot. And so velvet hangers have saved my sanity in a lot of ways. And so I cannot implore you enough that velvet hangers are a godsend, and you should have them in your closet. Not to mention the fact that they're really slim, and it helps you to keep your closet better organized, and you can kind of put a little bit more in your closet because you've got such a slim profile in your hanger. Okay, enough about the hangers. Speaking of, though, you want to space your clothes apart as much as possible in your closet. Now, I am currently guilty of not doing this at the moment. My little dress rack here is jam-packed with things, and I know that because I've got the skirts of my dresses kind of hanging out because I can't get them fully into that compartment. So I've got to do a little bit of editing myself over here in my dressing room. But you ideally want to make sure that everything is nicely spaced and has a little bit of wiggle room in there so that way they can air out, and that way you avoid wrinkling your stuff. So mea culpa that I am not putting that into practice at the moment, but I will be. Make sure that you do that though, because that will help make your life a lot easier. It will help your clothes to last a little bit longer because you're not mistreating them. They're not rubbing up on each other and getting all wrinkled and all of that stuff. A lot less maintenance that you have to do on your clothing, and you don't have to worry about steaming something when you pull it out, and you can look polished heading right out the door to go do your groceries. The one thing that you don't want to do is you do not want to hang your knits. Please do not hang your knits. Oh God, do not hang your knits. Because they will get those little weird crimpies here on the shoulders. Even t-shirts, by the way, get those little crimpies on the shoulders, or the knit will stretch out. And if it's a t-shirt, you've got to really stretch the neck out in order to get your hanger into that damn t-shirt. So do not hang your knits. Do not hang your knits, because they will last you so much longer. They will look so much better if you take the time to fold them up. And you don't have to Marie Kondo fold them, although that's not a bad idea. But at least fold them up and put them away in a drawer so that they're not hanging and pulling on hangers, on the hanger, getting long and stretched out and misshapen and all of that. So my sweaters, my sweater dresses, any kind of knit dresses that I have, t-shirts, anything like that does not get hung because I don't want them to lose their shape. So just know that you shouldn't do that. You should fold them. Marie Kondo style is best. And then you want to make sure that you remove lint and pet hair before you leave the house. I'm talking to myself here more than anyone really, because I've got cats and I could walk through my house and pick up cat hair. I don't even have to have them rub on me or anything like that. Cat hair is I probably have cat hair in my lungs. I mean, it is just a fact of life when you have got pets that you're going to have pet hair. And so make sure that you have rolled your pants or have gotten as much of the lint off of your clothing as possible. If I accidentally leave my pants laying around somewhere and one of my cats makes a bed of it and gets them full of cat hair, I will leverage my dryer. That is the one time where my dryer really does come in handy. I will use the air fluff cycle on my dryer. It's cold air or cool air. It doesn't get hot, and it just blows the air through the garment with a bounce sheet or something like that. And that way, one, your clothes get nice and fresh, and two, it blows a lot of the cat hair out of there, and your lint trap on your dryer will catch it. There's still going to be some cat hair. Come on, let's not get it twisted. Cat hair is very hard to get out sometimes, so there is still going to be a little bit of cat hair in the garment, but at least it's not like I don't have to use 50 sheets of a Scotch roller to get cat hair off. I do have those Scotch rollers everywhere. I've got one here in this room. I've got one in my car because, like I said, I walk through my house, I pick up cat hair no matter what, and then I can be in my car where my cats don't live, and I can, you know, roll off the rest of the cat hair that got stuck as I was walking through my house. So those little Scotch rollers are really good. I'm not gonna lie, they're not exactly sustainable. It's not the best. There are other apparatus out there that you can use that will supposedly take the cat hair off, but I haven't had a chance to look into those. I've got some Scotch rollers that I've got to get through before I consider getting something like that in order to try and get the cat hair off that's a little bit more sustainable. But anyway, the point of all of this is make sure that you don't have any pet hair on your clothing, or minimize the amount of pet hair on your clothing because that does not look polished or pulled together at all. You look hairy. You look like you're carrying your cats with you, which I love my cats, but I don't want them to go with me to go out to have dinner. You know what I mean? And then the last tip that I have for you is to know when to say goodbye to your clothes when they have completely worn out and they're just not wearable anymore. I am guilty of this as much as anyone, I think, because recently I experienced this with a sweater that I had from Banana Republic. It was a beautiful plum colored, very flattering color on me, I have to say. Really, really beautiful plum colored merino wool V-neck sweater that I got about 8 or 9 years ago from Banana Republic. And I wore that sweater 8 months out of the year, once a week. When I was working in my corporate job and even when I was working from home. It's just such a really nice, comfortable sweater, and I loved the color. And I did my due diligence over time. I would shave it once or twice a year, get rid of the pills, and just make sure that I never hung it, and made sure that I always took very good care in washing it and all of that. And after 8 or 9 years, it finally last fall decided to poop itself, and it was just not gonna come back. It looked really tired. No matter how much I depilled it, no matter how well I treated it, it just looked very tired. It started getting little holes here in the arms, and that's when I knew it was time to say goodbye. And I was very reluctant to let it go. I really didn't want to say goodbye to my beautiful sweater, but I did. I had to. And so, as hard as it might be, you do need to say goodbye when your clothes just don't come back to life after you've done everything that you possibly could. When your t-shirts have got, you know, the neckline is all ratty looking, and, you know, it's just looking really tired, and it's got pit stains and all of the things, you know. Sorry, let me adjust my camera here. As far as recycling textiles, if you have an H&M store near you, and I would check online or give them a call, but H&M stores take recycling, clothing recycling, and it doesn't have to be their stuff either. It can be any clothing that you have that needs recycling. If they take textile recycles, take it to your local H&M and have them deal with it. I think that's a great service on their behalf, and one of the reasons that I really appreciate H&M, and it's a good way of helping to keep this stuff out of landfills. If it's a t-shirt, by the way, you could easily repurpose that t-shirt, cut it up into squares and use it for cleaning around the house. That's what I do with all of the old t-shirts that we have. But if it's something like that merino wool sweater, I would rather take it to someplace like H&M and have them recycle it for me. And also you can look, you know, do a Google search and see if there are textile recycle places around you so that you can be the most sustainable, because some of these fabrics can be recycled and reused in other ways. Those are my tips. I hope that you found this useful. If you did, if you could give me a thumbs up, that will let me know that you enjoyed this and I can create more content like this for you. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for putting up with my tantrums and my passionate tirades about laundry and keeping your clothes looking good. Remember to live your life filled with confidence, grace, and style. I'm going to leave you with a couple more videos to watch here. I hope to see you there. Bye.